We're out on our walk. We haven't done it for a while, especially when Leon was unwell last week. We'd hoped to maybe get some brambleberries, but it's still too early. But what we did find was red clover. I've never seen red clover here, and it is extremely useful. And I also have quite a large supply of under here of plantain leaves. We've had that much rain recently. It's the pond, but it's so much bigger than usual. Last time I was here, I thought I saw ducks on it. I don't see anything there today. Remember, watch for jaggies. Good job. I don't know if we'll find many. I didn't honestly expect to be finding dandelions at this time of year. Careful, because they could be jaggy stuff. Some of the nettles are even getting a second. Wow, wish I'd known. Would have brought some gloves. So we're doing really good. We've got a big tub of dandelion flowers and plantain leaves and red clover. There you go. You gonna get it?
Yeah.
That's why dandelions are good, because they're really nice. You can make lots of things from dandelions. I found a vegan honey made from dandelions, which Did you see the pigeon? That's it, just tap the little bugs off. That's it.
That one.
Mmm.
Whoa.
Oh, there's one. That's it, just tap off the bugs. Good job.
That one down.
I wish there were still the roses, but a bit late for that now. And I finished all the rose petal jam. That was really good. Leon had good fun that day. Oh, careful, Sniff. Well, you got to watch, because some people don't clean up after their doggies, and there might be doggy poo in there. So you need to try and watch where you're going. So here's the red clover, and I found some more meadowsweet and some corn poppy heads. One that has actually already started to spill its seeds. That's what all the little black dots are. I have actually just ordered some poppy seeds, and I went past and saw a big clump of them, so I thought, well, I'll pick a couple. You know, you never take everything when you're out picking. You always leave some there. You never clear everything, whether it be the rose petals or berries or, you know, anything. So, a little bug. I just got to kind of let the bugs come off and then lay everything out to dry. To be honest, I find it dries better on a tray rather than the dehydrator. These will need all tidied up and trimmed of the leaves before I do anything with them. I'm glad to be back. It took us an extra 40 minutes with Leon helping with the dandelions. So we're now going to try and sort these dandelion heads and make sure all the bugs are off them. And then we're going to make dandelion syrup, aren't we?
Yeah, and
Or some people.
and I've got all the badges,
You got all the
the
badges on
piggy
on Roblox.
Yeah, not the other piggy game.
Similar recipes to what we're going to do can be called like a dandelion honey. It's like a vegan
No,
alternative. Okay, so this is what we need, the dandelion petals. Now, the best way I found is to roll it between your fingers, and it loosens all the petals. And then you can just pluck them out. Can't really do it with one hand, but yeah. So that loosens them all. So this is what I've done, and this is what I've got left to do. This is kind of full. Yeah, it's very slow, but I'm hoping very worth it. I'm actually taking a quick break from the dandelions, as I forgot I'd promised Matt to make him some lavender lemonade. He's at work with an awful headache and he's starting to feel quite unwell. And I've heard about lavender lemonade before. I knew I had some lemons in. The biggest problem was, again, trying to find a recipe that I felt worked, especially since some of them want an awful lot of lemon juice. But this is quite good. I got this at Aldi's, though it really, when you're needing a lot of lemon juice, it's not practical. I'm constantly having to empty it. They did have a bigger kind of orange sort of citrus fruit one with it was like bigger with a big chunky glass cup underneath. So if it's still there when I go shopping tomorrow, I might get that one as well. I didn't think properly. I thought this was going to be fine, if just doing one lemon or half a lemon. But sometimes, one half of a lemon fills it almost right up. I've done 2.5 so far. I've got 3 small ones and 1 big one left because I need this one for dinner tonight. And I've got, what's that saying? Nearly 100 mils, which isn't that much when some recipes were wanting probably about 300 mils. Yes, sweetie.
Do you want one?
No, it's okay. Thank you, darling. Anyway, so yeah, I've quickly stopped to do this because I want to get it chilled in time for Matt coming home, and we don't have any ice cubes. 125 mils of lemon juice. In here steeping, I have 2 tablespoons of dried lavender buds in 250 mils of boiling water. Now, I've decided to go with the honey rather than the sugar. Now, this is my raw honey, or I've just got some standard honey, but I might use the raw honey just to give it a bit more positives to it. So once this is steeped, I will strain it into a bigger jug, add the lemon juice, stir in the honey, and then top it up with the water. And I'll get that in the fridge. Hopefully it tastes nice. So 15 minutes are up, and I'm going to strain the lavender. I have a tea strainer. Oh, I missed a couple of bits. Never mind. Get a spoon. Okay, so just press to get all the good stuff out. Oh gosh. Well, that didn't work, did it? Nearly made a real mess. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh gosh. Right. And I think I've got one little bit in there. I'm making a right mess of everything at the moment. Okay, one little lavender bud. And now we add the lemon juice. And now I'll measure the honey. We need 1/3 of a cup. Here's the Black Forest honey. So here we have it. It tastes okay actually. I might try normal sugar next time. I mean, the honey's dark, so that's why it's a weird colour. I suppose if I'd used white sugar, it'd be totally different. But and it's very lemony. But the lavender's actually a very delicate, a very subtle taste. You don't notice it so much. Though I did only have a tiny taste off a spoon. So I'll get that chilling in the fridge now and get back to these dandelions. Okay, I think I've got the quickest way now. I do it like that. Typical. This one's falling apart in me. Oh, gosh. I do it like that, and they basically all come out. Yay! It's so much quicker than it was. Well, that took me about 2 hours to do. So now we've got the dandelion in a pan with 2 lemon slices. I usually keep lemon slices in the freezer for water and stuff. And then we put the lid on, and we're to simmer for 15 minutes. You always put the lid on, or put something over when you're sort of steeping anything, because otherwise you'll lose some of the benefits via the steam. Gosh, I'm so glad I'm finished that. Anyway, bring it to the simmer and give it 15 minutes, and then we'll actually leave it now overnight, and then we'll strain it off tomorrow and finish making the honey syrup. So after our late night last night and Matt's sore head, I thought I would get us ready for bed with some honey chamomile hot chocolate. So in here we've got soya milk, but I think oat milk might be better, and a chamomile tea bag. And then I've got some dark chocolate from Lidl's, as it's one of the few we can eat, and some honey. I'm hoping it's going to be nice. Obviously once we've tried it the first time, we can decide if we want it sweeter or less sweet, or less chocolate, more chocolate. Just we can figure it out. I was going to post the video last night, and then I realised there was no point, as the syrup wasn't going to be completed until today. Because you leave the dandelion and lemon overnight, and that's what I've got there, strained and squeezed out in a muslin. So we have to weigh the liquid, and then you add equal quantities of sugar. Slowly heat it so it melts the sugar in the liquid, and then simmer for about 15 minutes. You don't want it to get too thick or caramelized. Oh, and I'll need to get jars sterilised in the oven. But we'll get this weighed first and see what we've got. So it says we've got 226 grams of liquid, and so we will add the same of sugar. The sugar's all melted, and I'm just slowly bringing it oil, and then I'll leave it at a simmer and set the timer for 15 minutes. But I'm going to stay in the kitchen so I can monitor it rather than just leaving it for the whole 15 minutes. That's me. I've started the timer. This is sort of how I'm wanting it to be bubbling away. I don't know, I might need to turn it down a little bit to maintain it, and we'll see what happens. I had it boiling like this, or simmering like this, for an extra 3 minutes on top of the 15, as I didn't feel it was quite thick enough. But I think that's going to be okay now. Though obviously you don't always know until it properly cools down. So I'm going to get the jars out. I'm going to let it cool ever so slightly. It's still on the hot ring. I'm going to let it cool a tiny bit, and then I will put it into the two jars that I've got in the oven. Here we have the finished honey, all nice and cooled down. Such a beautiful colour. Dinner today is, well, it was one of the first Japanese recipes I think I ever cooked. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's ankake meatballs. To use pork mince, ginger, beaten egg, some potato starch, cooking sake, and soy sauce for the meatballs, and then I'll make the ankake sauce. This is a double recipe because I only tend to buy the bigger packs of pork, so it's it should be 800 for the proper double recipe, but it was 750 grams of pork mince, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of cooking sake, about a teaspoon of grated root ginger, a little salt, and I'm about to add the 2 beaten eggs, and now I need to mix it up, and it will go pretty gloopy. Right, well, I'm about to mix in the potato starch, and then using the tablespoon I'll make little meatballs. I've got some oil here to grease my hands, and then I'll put them on the tray. I prefer to oven bake my meatballs. And this does make quite a few, but yeah, you definitely need the oil, otherwise the mix is, because it's, as you can see, the mix, it's not as gloopy as my last one. Maybe I used smaller eggs this time, but yeah, I mix it up by hand mostly, and then still got potato starch on, but that'll be fine. There you go, I've rolled all of the meatballs. The smell is amazing. It's the sake, the cooking sake. It just smells so beautiful. That and the little hint of ginger. I can't wait to try sake. I haven't tried it yet. I've only got the cooking one, which has salt added to it, so people don't try and drink it. But I think I might try and get myself a bottle. I'm not really a big drinker though. So I'm about to put these in the oven, about 180 for, I think, sort of 15-20 minutes, and then that will be them until dinner time, when I'll whip up the sauce, which is nice and quick. I'm just making the sauce now. The recipe says to use chicken or pork paste. I'm assuming that's just like stock, so I used half a pork stock cube, and remember, because I'm doubling the recipe, I used 200 ml of water, and then I added the soy sauce, rice vinegar and sugar, and once it's starting to heat up, I'll add a little splash of the sesame oil, and here I have 4 teaspoons of potato starch, but that will be mixed with a little water and then used to thicken up the sauce. Now this only takes a few minutes really to heat up and thicken. I've got my rice cooker on, meatballs are done, got some corn on the cob and spring onions to go with it. So that's basically it. I'm now heating up the sauce, and I've added the potato starch mixed with water. It's very similar to how you do it with corn flour in a gravy when you're making a gravy. So just got to wait on this thickening. Then I will add the meatballs, and then that's dinner ready. Here's the finished dish. Ankake meatballs on rice. This is sushi rice, not long grain.